La-di-da. 3, 2, 1. Ortho Carolina wants to help keep your sanity this holiday season. Visit orthocarolina.com and subscribe to their newsletter for articles such as 7 habits for highly healthy holidays, 3 ways to keep kids active and save your sanity during the winter, how to crush your New Year's resolutions by setting specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-tested, or also known as SMART, goals. There's always something new and informative to help keep you improved in the Ortho Carolina newsletter. Sign up today at orthocarolina.com.
This is the Roaring Riot Podcast, your source for everything in the known universe about the Carolina Panthers. And now, here's Keith, Jayme, and Ashlyn.
Happy holidays and welcome to the Roaring Riot Podcast, part of the Riot Network, powered by Ortho Carolina. In this holiday episode, we will discuss the dumpster fire in Indianapolis and briefly discuss the quickest way to right the ship. We're going to look at some whys, such as why this team is so bad, and also we'll look at the Panthers' 2020 opponents, which have been set. But there's still one more game to get through. Hope you're doing well. I'm Keith, joined by Ashlyn and Jayme, and we're on Facebook Live now, apparently, are we not?
Yes, we're running Facebook Live right now. Last week we tried YouTube, and we're going to try something different this week. Next week I might try Twitch or Twitter. Not sure. And if I can get it, if I can really figure it out, I'll try to do it on everything at the same time. But that's
my Lord! Oh my God! Wow! I'm not ready.
So much technology.
Yeah. Whew. All right. Well, we hope that your holiday is good. We hope you enjoy this during the holiday. We are going to be back for one last podcast next week after the Saints game. First off, let's talk about what happened in Indianapolis. This game did see the debut of fan favorite quarterback Will Grier, and I think that his performance can be summed up from the lines of the HBO miniseries Chernobyl. Not great, not terrible. Thoughts?
He did okay.
He did.
Yeah,
he did.
I mean, what more could we expect in that situation? It just
I could expect not 3 interceptions against the Colts defense,
but the first one was kind of just stupid, unnecessary. That one, it was just it didn't need to be an interception. That was it was irrelevant, is what I'm trying to say.
Right. Well, okay. It didn't help things that DJ Moore left with a concussion after just 6 plays. And then after losing DJ Moore, Grier went to the stalwart of the offense, CMC. He threw to him 119 yards. And when not throwing to McCaffrey, his other 105 yards were on 12 out of 29 passes. And of course, 3 interceptions. But hey, 0 fumbles. So
hey, that's where he beat, Kyle Allen there, because Allen had the fumbles in the first few games.
That's right. By the way, CMC also broke the record for 2 consecutive 100-catch seasons. So good work there, CMC. Yay.
For a running back to have 100 catches 2 seasons in a row, I mean, like, you have to take a moment to appreciate what this guy does.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Swiss Army knives of the offense there. But, okay, so everybody wanted Will Grier. We got Will Grier. And I last week I tried to say, let's temper our expectations, because we knew he was going to come out there and just burn it down. Simply because we know what kind of offense we have here. We have an offensive line that's not very good. Darrell Williams, of course, gets another call, another flag, which hurt us. But also, one of the things that I thought was really interesting is how Will Grier was actually active back there. He was running around like crazy at some points, trying to avoid the sack, trying to wait for his guy to get open, and he was kind of just ad-libbing it along the way, and it was pretty impressive. Usually, I don't think he was put in a position to do better than he did. No, I don't. I agree with you, but I'm impressed by how much time he was given back there, especially that we didn't get a holding call or something, especially when he's back there running around. Yeah, I don't know. I liked what I saw out of him, even toward the end. When he went for it, that one, the 4th and inches and all of that, and he didn't get it, but he tried. He really, really tried out there. And I think the effort he put forward was about as good as we were going to get. I don't know that Cam could have done better. I don't know that anybody could have done better behind that line, behind everything else we had going on.
I didn't hate what I saw.
Do you think that with a bit more grooming and a bit more coaching that he could be a starter?
Possibly. I'm not going to say that yet. There's too much to see, and I want to put him behind a decent line. I want to put him in a situation where we can actually see how well he can play.
Do you mean for us or just in the NFL in general?
NFL in general.
Yes. I do think his ceiling is higher than Kyle Allen, but I don't know if he'll reach that ceiling. So it's but what we saw yesterday, it showed enough that he's capable of being able to play. And maybe
he's smart.
Yeah, he'll be able to play somewhere for somebody, maybe even us in a couple of years. I don't know, but yeah, I think he's going to have to go through some of those, like through the growing pains that all the quarterbacks go through.
If you
I liked his quick thinking on his feet, though. That's one thing. Yes, he had the interceptions. Yes, he had that, but you could see that he plays smart ball.
If you haven't had a chance to check it out yet, head over to the Riot Report because Josh Klein has an excellent assessment of what happened in Indianapolis and what the locker room reaction is. I'm going to read just a bit from this. I recommend heading over there and taking a look at the entire article. He did, so Josh has written that the locker room is crumbling around a coach who was elevated from in charge of the defensive backfield to running the entire organization. And of course, he's talking about Perry Fuel. And then there was a quote from Greg Olson. He says, "This season's unlike any I've ever been part of in 13 years. The path that's been put in place, it's really tough way to operate and finish out this season. Regardless of record, there were 16 games, and of those 16 games were going to be respectable. They were going to be played a certain way, and obviously that's not been the case. So it's a tough way to finish." So then Josh goes on to talk about what happened during the game. And he writes that after not allowing a punt return for a touchdown since 2016, this 2019 Panthers have allowed four punt returns for a touchdown in the past 2 weeks. And then they became only the 15th team since 1960 to allow 2 punt returns for scores by the same player in the same game.
Yeah.
That's tough.
That's embarrassing.
Which has happened in our history only twice before.
Correct.
Because it was Steve Smith for us, which was good. Or was it Steve Smith against us?
No, it was against us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't doing punt returns when he's playing for Baltimore.
No, you don't put a superstar receiver in there as a punt returner.
No.
Oh wait, we do.
Yeah. So Greg goes on to say in Josh's article, it's a very collective failure, organizationally failure. And he says our fans deserve better. A lot of the guys in this locker room deserve better. The coaches that have been around here deserve better. It's just an overall failure. I think that's the best way to put it. That hurts to hear Greg say that.
And he's not one. He's one that's very reserved and very respectful and very thoughtful in what he says. So it's to hear him where he publicly curses too.
Oh yeah, he dropped an S-bomb in the article.
And that's where I don't know. I'm interested to see how they all arrive at the stadium on Sunday.
Hey, you're going to be there on Sunday, aren't you, Ashlyn?
We are. Ollie got invited to be on the blue carpet for the catwalk. So,
ooh, nice.
So we'll be there for player arrivals, then head over to the tailgate. But me personally, I'm curious to see how they come in. I mean, if it's heads down, maybe a high five or two down the side, or I mean, I don't know if they have any energy behind them, because we've got a Saints team that's actually going to be playing, and I know we'll talk about that in a minute. But I'll let you guys know. I'll be on the Instagram and all of that too as they arrive. But I'm just really curious because that's going to set the tone. But I really halfway expect them to be just kind of
going through
blah. I don't expect much.
The life of this team was drained when Ron Rivera got fired, because he hadn't lost the locker room, and that was the important thing about that's how you determine whether or not you fire a coach in the middle of a season, and that hadn't happened, and that's so once you got rid of him, well then you lost the locker room because now their leader's gone. So at that point, this team is just We were playing like a 5-11 team before when Ron was there. Actually, a 5-win team when Ron was there. And I think we might have been able to squeak a win out, 1 or 2 with him. But since he's been gone, there's nothing left. There's this team looks terrible right now. Like
are you just hearing the Kelly Clarkson song in your head?
Which one is that?
Because I am.
Oh,
since you've been gone.
Well, that's a good song to sing right now for that. I mean, and the fan base is feeling it too. It's just once you did that, you said, okay, we're done on the season. We're not going to win any more games, and that's just uninspiring. And what do they have left to play for? Just don't get hurt so they can go play golf.
More or less. All right, let's talk about other scores in the NFC South. Jaguars 12, Atlanta 24. Of course, the Colts hung 38 on the Panthers to the Panthers 6. Saints 38, Titans 28, and then Texas 23, Bucks 20. The NFC South standings now. New Orleans well ahead, 12-3. Tampa Bay 7-8, Atlanta 6-9, and the Panthers at the bottom at 5-10. So let's continue.
Do you have a good womp womp sounder?
I do.
Well, yeah, we do, but we're playing the
yeah. I just still. Yeah, I hear it in my head, so I just wanted to hear it real quick.
Oh, okay, all right. So we're doing the towel of shame now. So I'm giving mine to Vernon Butler.
Shame.
What kind of performance was that? If you missed it during one of the plays, Big Vern pulls one of the Colts players down by his face mask. Then when he's on the ground, he gets up and punches another guy in the face. Just a completely guy
with a helmet on.
Right. That's got to hurt first. I mean, he could have broke his hand first. I mean, but also
that's not smart.
He could have hurt the other guy. It's just unsportsmanlike.
Well, he was trying to.
Yeah, he was. And then
don't throw a punch at somebody not trying to hurt them.
This is Albert Hainsworth kind of behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's so not in his personality, though, from what we've seen before and what we know about Vernon Butler. I was very, very, very shocked about that.
Well, then we see him on the sideline. He gets the phone call. And Ashlyn, you said that was from the DT himself.
I think so.
I think it was, too.
Mean, somebody called him, and he's like, you can pack your bags when you get to the locker room. Because he's not going to be playing this week anyway. He'll be suspended.
Right.
And probably fined. You should be.
And kicked off the team. Released. Yeah. Excuse me. Released.
And then he flipped off the crowd as he was walking out.
I don't know that he was flipping off the crowd.
It certainly looked like
maybe partially. I mean, no, but I'm saying he might have been flipping off whoever was on the other side of that phone call.
Oh, well.
Or somebody could have been heckling him, and he could have been just flipping off that one heckler.
Still, like you already are out. Like, that just didn't look like him to me. But honestly, we were just talking about it. That's not something you would have seen from a Ron Rivera Panther team.
No.
Like Jennifer Aniston said in the movie Office Space that she flipped off someone and then may have flipped off some other people who were in the vicinity of it. So it was a bird flip to someone, and
somebody was number one in his heart.
Yeah, the middle one. All right, let's move right along. Jayme, what you got?
Well, I kind of have two. One is definitely for the Panthers. One is in general. So my towel of shame is for the decision to just waste the 30 seconds before the half, and they ran one running play and then just let the clock run out. That's an opportunity where you chuck the ball downfield and you go for a 95-yard touchdown. And it's why don't you use that time? You've got Will Grier back there. You want to see what he can do? Okay, well, here's a Hail Mary opportunity to test him out on that. And it's just that situation where you set it up. Either the Colts are going to get a safety or we're going to get a touchdown because we're going all out right here. And they did nothing. They ran one play, got the clock moving, and then just went to the locker room. And that's just unacceptable to me. You've got time. You've got timeouts. Use them. Try to score.
Isn't that the typical Panthers way? That
it wasn't earlier this season. No, earlier this season under Ron, we were not wasting that time on the field. We weren't leaving it there. We were actually trying to score. Almost, at least in the first half of the season, I never saw us do that. But now we did that. And
before that, come on, that's been the Panthers' way for the longest time. If you have more seconds on the play clock than you do on the game clock, you just go to the locker room. That's what the Panthers have done for a long time.
We did under John Fox for sure. I don't feel like I've seen that much under Ron Rivera. Maybe when he was first here, but not the last couple of years. And it definitely wasn't the first half of the season. It definitely wasn't like that since Norv's been here. So to see that yesterday, it's a come on. This is a Hail Mary opportunity, and you can see what he can do in that situation, and they didn't take the opportunity to check it.
It is infuriating. So I'm guessing your talent go to Scott Turner there for making that.
Well, it's just apathy. They've given up, and that just shows like, oh, we don't even care about trying. My other towel of shame goes to the Cat Team Brotherhood because they went 0-4 this weekend again. We're
going to talk about that in a few more minutes.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to throw that that deserves another towel of shame because I think they have one win since the Black Cat came on the field. I want to verify that, but I think that's true.
By the way, this coffee is excellent. I just want to tell you that Trader Joe's Winter Blend Spicy with the green and red peppercorns. It's delicious.
Oh, you made me think of that Seinfeld clip right now. What is it? These pretzels
coffee is delicious.
Yes.
Towel of shame brought to you by Trader Joe's. Not really, but anyway.
Unless they're listening, they want to sponsor it.
Who you got, Ashlyn?
I debated. Part of me wanted to go with special teams minus one round of plays, but I'm going to go with the defense as a whole, minus one guy who we'll talk about on the sunny side. It's just sad. Like, the Panthers were always a defensive team, and it's just hard to see them now that everything you're like, he missed a tackle. Oh, he missed a tackle. Oh, we can't stop the run. Oh, we can't stop anything. When you get to a point where you're like, oh, look, we made a tackle. It's not good. And that's not, we're a defensive team. And I don't know if it's that they've had a hard time adjusting with the 3-4. I don't know if it's they missed Thomas Davis. I mean, I know we didn't have Shaq this game, but we need to focus on the line. We need to focus on a potential quarterback. We need to focus on some receivers in the draft, but we got to do something with this defense.
Yeah, I don't know how it just fell apart. We were saying at the beginning of the season, we could say, oh man, this running defense is bad, but it's probably worse than we even expected it to be. And then they can't tackle. They can't tackle anything. And it's just
even Trey Boston, who is a fantastic tackler,
right? And it's
this whole season cannot tackle.
And every week the announcers are saying the same thing. It's like, oh wow, this team is having the best rushing game of the season. Look at that, the quarterback's doing it with his feet, and that's so frustrating to hear. How did we become so bad against the run? It's mind-boggling and it's embarrassing.
I think I know because, and I was going to talk about this later, but how we became so bad against it was because we changed up our entire defensive scheme. We went from the 4-3 to the 3-4, and I think that since we did that, it's just the players they're not suited for that scheme, and
apparently.
It's just been a colossal failure. And I think that if we get back to what we were doing well, the 4-3, then I think that we'll see better run stuffing.
Well,
possibly. I mean, you never know. I mean, I could be talking out of my rear right now, but I think that's been a major issue this season.
But my issue with that is we've hardly even seen the 3-4 defense. Like most of the times you see them up there, they're lined up in the 4-3. So is it because
I think the defense as a whole is just confused?
Yeah, is it because they were practicing the 3-4 and then they've been implementing the 4-3? I mean, maybe that's what it is. I don't know. It's just.
Well, then you've got the defense coach who's now the head coach, and you had the head coach who was the defensive coach. And I think the fact is you need someone that's going to be focused fully on a segment and running that. And I think, too, it could be the changeover, but we also have not had any dedicated defensive coaching this year.
Yeah.
Solid all the way through.
That's definitely part of it.
We haven't had a solid defensive coach since Sean McDermott left.
No.
God, he's doing well this year. Good for you, Sean. I said that the other day. I was like, go, Sean, go.
So I think that we would catch an incredible amount of crap if we didn't talk about special teams. That was just awful. Just awful. And I saw Chase Blackburn on the side running up and down screaming, which he should be doing because they're just god awful. Where's the blocking? Oh, no, nice. Was
that was
you,
an accident. Yeah, it was me. It was a total accident, but was completely appropriate.
I was going to say, is that the Colts? Because I don't know if you guys heard it, but at the end of the game, they started playing Sweet Caroline. We had left the bar with a few minutes left because we did go see the Upstate Riot. I'll talk a little bit more in kind of our final thoughts about them, but we went there and I was listening to it on the radio and Cece came on and she was like, yeah, that's Sweet Caroline. But, she used to work for the Colts. And she's like, they've played that in the stadium before. So I don't think it's a dig. However, they were playing Kitten Meows when the Panthers were running out. So maybe they've changed their culture here a little bit and they are doing some digs.
Well, they're fighting for a playoff spot. So they got to get their crowd riled up. And that's one way you can do it. Yeah.
I didn't hate the Kitten Meows. I mean, I think we deserve the Kitten Meows right now.
Right now, it's not. Yeah, it's hard to argue. And that's sad, but true.
Well, I've been waiting to play this for when we have 40 points and the other team has 3 and they come out. But this should be the Panthers sounder when we're coming on the field.
Can you hack into the Panthers soundboard on Sunday and have that happen?
I'm sure they'd love that.
Either that or the Benny, it should either be that or the Benny Hill music.
Oh, yeah, exactly. All right. So I had originally wanted to suspend this segment, but Ashlyn said, no, we got to have a sunny side. So we got to look positive here on this gloomy day in the Carolinas. So
the rain is hey, I will say it is a miserable day in the Carolinas, not just then, but the rain we're getting today. I'm down here now and weather's miserable.
Yeah, it's sad. So Ashlyn, you lobbied to have this segment, so
yes.
Take it away.
And I gave you one that we wanted to bring up because I couldn't decide between two. No, James Bradbury, I've liked him for a while now, but I want to throw it out there too because he had his tackles yesterday. He saved a couple things. I'm still proud that he's out there doing his job when everybody else around him is falling apart.
And the reason why Dante Jackson was not out there is because he was benched for his comments, which I think was
he really?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Like they cited that as the reason, or you were assuming that was the reason?
He was active, but he was on the bench. That's why.
Okay. No one said that.
And see, this is what happens when you get rid of your head coach when he hasn't lost the locker room. Like, it's another.
It's
that
fine.
would not have
you know
happened
what?
under Ron Rivera.
One more game, and we can hit the reset button.
Let me get back to Josh's article. He writes in his article, 2 weeks after publicly criticizing Fuel and then walking it back later that week, brash second-year cornerback Dante Jackson was benched by Fuel in the Panthers' Week 16 loss to the Colts in favor of veteran cornerback Ross Cockrell. So there you have it.
I like Cockrell. Cockrell's been playing well, so you know what? I don't hate that. I don't know if it was just the comments, though, because Jackson was missing tackles, and we've seen Cockrell doing a good job. Mm-hmm. Not that he did yesterday, but we have been.
Well, Perry Fuel might not have been the right guy to pick for this interim position.
It's okay. One more week.
Well, I wonder if they would have been acting this way under North Turner. Because he's got that head coaching experience, and he would probably have been able to step in there and give this team some hope. But the guys they don't have any hope. They're just trying to get through the end of the season. This is just frustration of a collapsed season. We were 5-3, and now we're going on an 0. We're looking at 0-8. That's hard to handle.
Yeah, it's a flashback to 2018, really.
Yeah, it really is.
It's tough. Okay, so since Ashlyn brought this back from the dead, I was going to give my sunny side to Mike Pilardi because that was one of the best passes and one of the best. I know that there was a question about whether it was caught, but
Mike Pilardi for quarterback in 2020 or 2019 for the rest of 2019. Can we just put him in?
I'd love to see Pilardi back there.
Let's just let him take the snaps.
Actually, I like Mike Pilardi. I don't want to put him behind that offensive line.
Who do we not like? Can we let Jackson play quarterback?
I'd love to hear his comments after that. Whoa. No, but
I think I told you he might just need a hug, and maybe that's what we do. Maybe he needs a hug from a baby. We'll let Ollie say hello to him next week, and maybe everything will get better.
You had this opportunity. No,
we'll try. We'll do our best.
But I like seeing the trick plays. I like seeing things like that because it's something that we rarely ever see from the Panthers.
Yeah,
but I love it. I love that. So even though
I like seeing it under Fuel instead of being Rivera, I liked seeing that he pulled something. I mean, I'm sure that wasn't something he created and it's been practiced a while, but I'm glad we saw it.
Yeah, and so as much grief as I gave Chase Blackburn earlier for the special teams failures, that was a great play. I'm really happy they tried it, and even if it didn't work, I would have been happy just to see them try something different. So great work there, Chase and Mike and JJ. So everybody involved in it. All right, Jayme, who gets your sunny side?
Well, for my sunny side, it was just the fact that they were going for it on fourth down, on long fourth downs in the beginning of the game. And I like that. I know you loved seeing Pilardi do what he did on a trick play, but I think at this point in the season, there is no reason for us to ever punt again. It should be 4-down territory all the way. We should be kicking onside kicks, and we should be just always going for it. Never just handing the ball. Always try to get that first down. But so I love that we were doing those, doing the fourth, going for it on fourth in the first half at least. And I'm okay with kicking the field goal if you get down there and they get you stopped, get the points. But the only other thing I would have liked to see trick play wise would have been some direct snaps to CMC and then giving him the halfback option to throw it or run it. I would have liked to see some of that.
Oh, that would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of the things I do like that they're doing now is they're utilizing Curtis Samuel for his running back abilities because he was running back prior to his NFL career.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really fun to see him lining up in the backfield and throwing some questions to, is it going to be a run? Is it going to be a block? Is it going to be a pass down to DJ Moore, who's apparently not going to be because he's in the concussion protocol now. So, but it's just fun seeing the different schemes there.
Yeah, but the thing was, we were doing that a little bit early in the season, and part of it was because he went on a stretch where he wasn't able to catch anything, so the only way they could get the ball to him was to hand it off to him.
Not true.
But and sometimes those plays have worked, like the double reverse plays, or he'll either run that or a sweep, and when it works, it's great, but when it doesn't, you're just frustrated. I'm like, why didn't you just try to throw it to him? But he's a good player. I think him and DJ Moore are a pretty good combo. All we need is a big, tall receiver to be the guy who can jump over all the DB's heads. And then,
DJ Moore's pretty tall.
Yeah, but he's not tall enough. I mean, he's not KB tall.
Well, no, nor fat.
Yeah, I mean, well, he was thick. We gotta get a big, tall guy back there to be that to be the threat for when we have to throw a Hail Mary, and we don't have that guy right now.
Oh, Greg Olsen, maybe.
Well, yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm glad he was able to play again, but I mean, did he need to play yesterday? I don't know.
No.
I mean, after that big concussion, I think even if he can come back next year, you just don't bring him back this year. I thought that was silly, and he did look slow out there yesterday too. Maybe some running that route. There was one route he ran into the end zone. It's just the ball just wasn't able to get to him in the right way, and it's like old Greg would have made a play on that and caught it.
Yeah, but he's a tight end. The tight ends are not known for speed.
No, but I mean, he didn't look like the Greg Olsen of old. He definitely had lost a step.
Okay, so Ashlyn's got something here she wants to talk about.
Oh, my exes.
Exes. Ashlyn.
I have a prediction.
What's that?
Maybe based on a little bit of rumors I've been hearing that I won't mention where they're coming from, but some sources. I'm pretty sure TD is going to be done after this season. We thought he was going to be done after last season. I think out there with the Chargers. Yeah, really. But I think you're going to see him come back, do the one-day contract, and retire a Panther very, very shortly.
I hope so.
I'm very comfortable saying that I really believe this is going to happen.
You think it's going to happen this week or next year?
I don't know when it'll happen. I don't know that the Chargers are out of it too, right? Like they're not going anywhere, are they?
No, they're done.
I think they're done.
Yeah, so maybe he does it, early in the off season. Maybe he waits, but I see it happening. I see him coming back because his whole family stayed basically in Charlotte, and that's his home. And he was a Panther for all but this 1 year. Yeah, TD will be back. He'll retire a Panther.
Yeah, so just so you know, those who are in the hunt still are the Steelers and Raiders in the AFC and then NFC Cowboys. So no.
How weird does that sound that the Raiders are still in the hunt?
I know. 7-8.
Well, that's just how bad the AFC is this year.
Yeah, true. But no, the only AFC teams that are in it now are Ravens, Patriots, Titans, Bills, Chiefs, and Texans. So yeah, no. Maybe when they build a new stadium, they'll be better. Sorry. So looking forward to 2020, the 2020 opponents for the Panthers have been set. Of course, they're going to be home and away games against Atlanta, New Orleans, and Tampa. But the home games include Chicago, which they just look awful. I mean, if the Panthers look bad, the Bears just look god awful. Mitch Trubisky just looks lost out there. Poor kid.
And they had such a really good season last year.
And
remember we talked about him in the preseason. I'm like, Mitch Trubisky, I just don't see it. And that's it. Like it's like a night and day from last year to this year. He's just not showed up at all. And they look terrible.
Yeah, they really, really do. Now here's one that Jayme, I know that this is going to be a one to watch, and we don't know when this is going to be because the schedule won't be announced until around the draft, possibly earlier in April rather. The Sword of Omens is up for grabs because we will be playing Detroit at home.
Yes. Well, in Detroit, right? Or is it?
Shing.
I don't know. At home.
We have a shing
so they're
play bet yet?
They're
coming. We need one.
Oh, they're coming to us.
Yeah, they're coming.
I thought we were going to be playing in Detroit next year. Okay. Yeah,
so
that
we
would
need
be up for great. That's going to right now. That's my biggest game of the year. That's the one I'm looking at.
We need you to show up as a blue tinted lion-o,
but not a lion.
No. We show up as Panthro
with the Sword of Omens.
With the Sword of Omens, and Lion-O's trying to take it back from us. That's the situation.
You've got to show up. The only thing you're allowed to wear is a belt and tight shorts.
Well, he's got those spiked suspenders too.
Oh, okay. Well, there's that.
Remind me not to come to that game. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
I don't think security would let you in wearing that.
I'll make the foam spikes for you. That's not a hard thing. They do that at Georgia. I can get you spikes, whatever. But
did you know all those?
But I won't watch.
Did you know those characters were naked in the first episode?
Sort of. Well, they're not naked. I mean, they're cats, so they're covered in fur.
Okay, fine.
But yeah, pretty much. They were wearing all their gear.
Yeah, standards and practices were off that week. Good grief. But yeah, that's a big one because the Sword of Omens is going to be up for grabs there. So that's Jayme. You've got to get to work on forging one.
Well, like I said, it's maybe I can come up with something cheap.
Something that's
just go get a kitchen knife and start hammering it and see what you can get out of it.
I could draw some concept art. How about that? Like, this is what I think the trophy should look like, and the Panthers need to have this, and they need to bring it out on the field. Like, in my mind, this is how it works. They get this trophy made, and they bring it in the locker room. Say, hey, look, we held the Sword of Omens, and then you get the reporters, the beat reporters are going to see that what is that, and they're going to tell them this is what it is, and you're going to have to go to Reddit and research and say, oh, look, there's a whole history here.
Just tell Josh. I can get.
Is this going to be the beat reporter that's not Newton? Because did you see the tweets this morning?
No, what?
From Mario Addison?
No, I didn't.
Apparently, David Newton got his name and number wrong again in an article, and he's like, "This is the second time you've done this, ass. Can we please get a reporter in here, or can you please figure out who I am?"
And he's not a rookie.
No, and I mean, we've met him. He's a good guy, but lot of people not happy with his reporting. And when Mario put that out on the Twitter, and like for him to actively go after a reporter on the Twitter, he's got something legit to back it up.
He's kind of a reserved guy, and he's not very critical, openly critical like that. So, well, to get back on beat reporters, the point would be they get the trophy and they bring it in the locker room. The beat reporters are going to see it and want to know what it is. And so they're going to find out and they're going, oh, that's cool. They're going to write an article on it. So the whole week leading up to the matchup with the Lions, there'll be a little bit of rumbling. Oh, this is the Sword of Omens matchup. And if the Lions beat us, they take the Sword of Omens. So we got to defend the Sword of Omens. So it'll raise the stakes of the Lions game and it'll get the team saying, hey, we got to defend this trophy. We don't want to give this to them. This is ours. We own it. We must defend it. And then, can I
tell you the music I hear though when they come out with it is, it's the Patriots come out song before they do Crazy Train, but that whole bum 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 bum.
Oh yeah, they're holding the trophy.
Come out with a sword, and it'd be like hold the sword with like the smoke. Yeah, that's what I hear.
But you have to do like a mashup of that with the Thundercats theme song.
It's got to be, yeah.
You mash those two up together, and you come out holding that trophy. That's how you come out of the locker room, and then you present it at midfield when you're doing the coin toss, so the two teams know.
Oh
this
yeah,
is what we're playing for.
NFL's gonna love that.
No,
can you do it like the Spartans from Southern California, where they come out and the Spartan throws the sword down into the dirt? Like in the middle of the field, he throws the sword into the field.
You're still thinking it's just going to be a sword. No, it's going to be a sword that's mounted in a base, kind of like the sword in the stone.
But it has to come out of the base.
Yeah,
well, maybe it can. Maybe it can.
And then you shove it into the field.
But,
okay.
But if you're bringing
now you've sucked me into your crazy dreams, Jayme.
But if you're bringing it out of the field, it has to be a trophy. It can't be a weapon because they've already banned weapons, right? But this is a trophy.
Jayme, you've got 9 months at minimum.
I don't have the money to build this thing. That's the problem.
All right.
Disposal income,
go fund me.
I would have already made this thing and shipped it to them.
All right. Moving right along. We will also be playing at home. Denver, the Los Angeles Raiders, and the Arizona Cardinals again. Our away game will be.
Did you say the Las Vegas Raiders?
Did I say Las Vegas or Angeles? I don't remember.
You said Los Angeles, but it'll be the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, well, the coffee's not kicked in fully. So yeah, the Las Vegas Raiders and Arizona Cardinals. Our away games will be in Minnesota. We're going back to Green Bay. Two seasons in a row. We'll also play against the Chiefs, which appear to be one of the best teams in the AFC. We'll also be playing against the Los Angeles Chargers in the new SoFi Stadium. Is it SoFi or SoFi? Or I don't know.
SoFi.
It's going to be the Panthers Stadium when we're there because the Chargers.
I can't wait. That's the one I want to go to just because I like new stadiums.
Well, can't. There's not going to be any San Diego fans there. I mean, Chargers fans there.
Oh, true.
They're always
I want to go to that one.
San Diego Chargers to me. They will always be the San Diego Chargers because it makes no sense that they moved to LA.
No. And finally, the Panthers are going to be playing in Washington, where there should also be more Panthers fans, just because the team has lost the city. So let's talk about how the Panthers can turn the schedule from their current probability of 0-16 to something more, let's say, pleasant. So here's what I think. As much as he has done for us and evaluating talent such as CMC and Luke Kuechly, I think that Marty Herney's time is over. We need a new talent assessment, and it needs to be someone who can both evaluate talent and know how to structure contracts, because we don't need to be dumping money out. We just recently paid Shaq Thompson $50-some million, and he sat out yesterday. I understand it was not
an owie.
Yeah, he did, but it was. It's just frustrating to think about that. Hey, you just signed a giant contract and you're hurt.
Well, Herney's good about paying guys for what they've done, not for what they think they're going to do. So I'm actually,
correct, and I don't like that.
I'm actually okay with that. I'm very much okay with that.
Because then that's when they get traded to another team because they're not doing crap for you, and you're still paying them to play for that team.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, but I think you should have paid them. You're paying them for the work.
You should have.
And that's what he's doing, and I'm actually okay with
But that's where bonuses come into play. Structure them with bonuses. Let them get that for the year they do whatever they do well, but you don't pay for past performance.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I
Yes,
thought that had
because-
to be part of the. I thought that had to be part of the contract beforehand.
You have a base contract and then you have incentives. So
Oh, yeah, but this
Yeah,
wouldn't
but
be
structure
incentives.
contacts
But-
with
But
incentives.
this wouldn't be incentives. This is like a reward for wow, you way overperformed than we thought. So we're just gonna. Like,
But that's
throw
why you
this money.
structure the contracts to have potential incentives so that you're paying them for the work they do, not for the work they'd done.
No, see, but that's what I'm not okay with. Like, if you just want to throw him extra money because, hey, we're really proud of what you did, so here's like this extra money. You deserve this. You should be able to do that outside of the contract. And that's why I think that the only way he can do it is by signing him to a ridiculously new big contract, which is what.
Yeah, that.
But I'm absolutely okay with paying these guys that have done their work, and for the work that they've done, because they should have been paid like that up front in the first place. So that's the one thing I'm okay with him doing.
All right, we disagree on that.
We do.
Moving right along, I don't think the pure fuel is the answer to the Panthers.
No,
You think?
but we knew he was short term. I mean, Tepper's even said he's going out looking for somebody.
Yeah, we knew that, but not. I wonder if Fuel may even be the coach this week. For the
Let Norv do it. I'm good with Norv doing
yeah,
it.
let him do it. As I mentioned earlier, I think that we should really get back to the 4-3 defense because, as I was saying, the 3-4 experiment simply isn't working. If you want to hear more about that, just rewind the tape. And then finally, instead of sleeping on free agency, we need to be active and bring in players that can help if they are available. There's no need to sign a player in free agency just for the heck of it. But we've always just sat on free agency. And we've seen some decent players go to other teams and do well.
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell you my answer?
Teddy
And
Bridgewater.
yes, I would love to hear your answer.
Andrew Thomas. That's who I want in the first round of the draft.
Okay.
I want to move up
I
for
thought,
him.
I thought you're talking about GM.
No. He is a left tackle, Jayme.
Uh-huh.
He is the top potential left tackle coming into the draft. He is massive. He is fast. He is good.
Sounds
He
good
is
to me.
the answer.
Sounds good to
And
me.
we need whoever we have back there slinging the ball has to have blindside protection.
So
Andrew Thomas. Remember this name, Andrew Thomas.
So who are we going to pick up as right tackle? Or
It won't matter as much.
But I think 1 and 2 need to be offensive line.
Well, we already have.
I think we need to trade up for a good left tackle.
No, but the thing
because
is-
they're going to be gone if we don't.
No, I agree. I mean, we're already going to be, I think, at worst number 9 right now, unless we
Yeah,
win.
still, the
assuming we
top
lose,
five
and the
will
best
be-
will be number 9.
What we need for the offensive line will go in the top 5 or 6.
Well, we might be in the top 5 or 6, but
Let's hope that.
but we need a lot of terrible teams to win in order for that to happen.
Right.
I still think our first 2 draft picks need to be offensive line, and I know you say, well, we've got some, we do have a few pieces, but we don't have
Yes.
we have no depth, so we need to pick up. Like, if we got a good nose tackle, we need another nose tackle just in case he goes down. We need to have it at least 2 rows deep, and I would like to see 3, but that's asking for a lot.
I don't
And
think
that's going to take up too much cap space.
I don't think that's the case because I think that we should look at doing the we should look at left tackle first. Yes,
Okay,
because that
I agree.
that's
I agree.
But as far as the second pick, I think you got to go with what is the best available at that point. I mean, yeah, we can dream and say, yeah, we'd like to pick a right tackle as well.
We
But
need another receiver.
I would like to have another receiver, but I would love to have a defensive tackle.
Mhm.
Yeah,
don't think
I would be okay with that too.
Dontari Poe is not getting the job done.
Yeah, I'd be okay with going the defensive line too. As far as receiver goes, I think we'll be able to find something like that's where you go to the free agency because we've got 2 good receivers. We just need one more kind of.
We have
good
3 good receivers.
Well, yeah, but we don't
Wright's
really.
in there.
Yeah, we don't really need more receivers.
Wright and White are not bad.
I think if the best wide receiver in the draft is available to us, we got to skip over him because we just don't need receivers.
And Ashlyn, let's not forget about Chris Hogan.
I heard his interview the other day, and he doesn't need to talk, but no, he's a good guy. I want to see him more. I hope we hold on to him for another year.
All right. Any other thoughts on how we should for improving in 2020?
Well, there is a question in the chat room.
Which is what?
So this guy's Robert. He's a massive Panthers fan, and he hopes this doesn't happen at all. But he's kind of worried about this because of the way we're playing. Could a big trade possibly lure McCaffrey away to a Super Bowl contending team, or or do you think he will stay and try to bring the Panthers back next season using his excellent work ethic?
Anything is possible there if the money is
not going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere either.
If we get a first-round pick out of him, yeah, I think that the Panthers will say, yeah, absolutely.
They would. You think they would trade McCaffrey for a first-round pick?
I think
It's the whole team.
There's no way I would do.
But what are they going to get with that first-round pick in terms of
another running back. I don't know.
No,
I mean, but what are you going to get? Like you're going to give up so much for a potential bust?
No, you're looking at a potential Hall of Famer. You're not giving him up for first round pick. I wouldn't give him up for anything.
That's a very good point.
Yeah. But but if McCaffrey's contract is up, right, and the team is playing like they are right now, does he have any incentive to stay? I mean, that's so the team's got to we've got to get turned around before his contract's up.
Well, hopefully we can do it. I saw that someone had said that the Panthers are going to suck for the next 5 years. I don't see that. With the right personnel, and we have good enough core of players that we can build around that make up for the deficiencies of some of the others.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of just bad coaching.
Right.
That
we need somebody coming right now to take control of that locker room, because that you're just seeing it right now. It's a disaster.
Yeah, it's just falling apart. So
Thank you for the question.
Yes, thanks, Robert. But we would love to hear from you. Please share your thoughts on the podcast, The Panthers, the latest game, or leave us your own final thought at 704-228-0890. Again, that's 704-228-0890. Now, like I said, next week is our final our podcast for 2019. And please, we'd love to hear
sad
from you.
or are we relieved?
Well, it's a full-time job putting it together. It really is.
It's bittersweet, though, that it's ending like it is.
It takes some time, but call us and let us, or email us and let us know your thoughts, your favorite memories from 2019, and what you expect from this team in 2020, because we would love to know what your thoughts are. So this Sunday, this is it. One more game. One more home game, and we want you to join us on the 29th as the Panthers take on the Saints to cap off what has been a very tough season. Now, Ashlyn and I are going to be at the Roaring Riot tailgate, so please come by and say hello.
Yes, I'll be a little bit later because we will be for player arrivals, but that ends at 11. So depending on who's come through already, I don't know if the good guys come. The good guys. They're all the good guys. I don't know if the big guys come earlier or later, so we'll head over, but we'll be there before the end. Look for teeny tiny little baby. He's not teeny tiny anymore. In a Panthers hat with ears on it. That would be us. But yeah, the keyword this week is fire truck. Say that. I have some prizes. We didn't get a pineapple this week because the crowd was a little light for upstate, but keyword is fire truck. Come find me, say fire truck, win a prize.
All right. And I'll be there in my Capital Riot jersey. So come on by and give you a Camel City Riot sticker. Now, Shake Shack is going to be providing the food. There will be delicious Noda beers and other adult beverages. And of course, our DJ will be there playing all the hits to get you pumped up for the game. Also, don't forget to join us in section 525 at halftime to party with all your Riot friends. It really is the best halftime experience in the stadium. We've got a DJ. The Panthers show up and give away prizes. Get to see all our friends, and it's going to be the send off for the season. So we hope to see you there at both the tailgate, just across from 601 South Cedar Street, across from Draft, and then also in section 525 at halftime, because it really, really is a blast.
Yeah, okay. I want to go. I really wish I could go to this. You guys are going to have such a great time. And unfortunately, just because of the timing of how it's falling right in the middle of Christmas and New Year's, my family's going to be here, and I can't just run away from that.
Oh, it's a 6-hour drive, Dan. What are you talking about?
I know. It'd be 6 hours down, go hang out,
it's
party.
It's a tough drive. We just did it the other day. It's tough.
I think you guys are going to have a really good time, and I'm jealous that I can't be there for it. And I know, just enjoy being there with the Panthers fans and have a good time. Forget about what they're going to be doing on the field.
And I'm looking forward to it because my wife and I, of course, we're going to be there, but also her sister and our 12-year-old niece, she's coming down. It's her first game of the season. And Lisa came down for the game last week, I think it was, against the Seahawks. Yeah. And I had a great time there. So, and I've talked to a few of the super fans. I know that Mad Catta, he's going to be there. Catman Jr. is going to be there. We're going to have a lot of. It's always a lot of fun. The super fans come through and get photos at the tailgate. So we hope to see you.
I heard
there.
a fun story about the Mad Catter yesterday, where he was walking down the street and David Tepper tapped him on the shoulder and wanted to get a picture with him.
Yes,
gave his card. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a super nice guy. He lives here in Winston-Salem, so we see him often. And apparently his Camel City Riot sticker he has on his cell phone is faded, so I have to bring one. So I'll have that. I'll have some Capital Riot patches, and also thank you, Jayme, for those, and also some Camel City Riot patches. So if you need one, let me know. So here's the thing with the Saints. But first, let's talk about the 49ers because the 49ers currently hold the number 1 seed in the NFC, and they will seal that with a win over Seattle in week 17. Now, if not, the 49ers come in as a wild card team, but the Saints hold on to the number 2 seed, and they will hold on to that if the Packers, who are at number 3, lose to the Vikings on Monday Night Football, which is tonight because we're recording this on Monday afternoon. So a Packers win will send the Saints to the number 3 seed. Now, to get to the number 1 seed, the Saints will need a Packers loss or a Seattle win over the 49ers in week 17. So the Saints do have something to play for here. And that worries me.
They do. The entire NFC has something to play for. They're all shuffling positions. So
but we've got to play these Saints.
I know, but nobody's going to be resting anybody this weekend in the NFL.
No, but these Saints are going to be tough, and that's never fun.
Oh, they're gonna come out and just feast on us. It's just they're licking their chops for this game. I'm sure.
I hate Lee Harvey Oswald. I mean, Sean Payton. Oh God, can't stand that guy.
Did you call him Lee Harvey Oswald?
He looks like a fat Lee Harvey Oswald. If you look at him, he looks like if Lee Harvey Oswald had 8 Lee Harvey Oswald, that's what he would look like. Sean Payton looks just like him.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I haven't noticed that before. Okay.
That or a chipmunk scrolling away for the wintertime with his cheeks, those jowls filled with wonderful, wonderful nuts. By the way, I got a squirrel feeder. It's hilarious. They fight. It's great because you see these fat little squirrels out there fighting each other. It's wonderful.
Well, because
they're so chunky in the winter.
Well, it's because they're stealing all the food from your bird feeder, right?
Oh, the bird feeder closes if a squirrel jumps on it, so they've kind of learned about that because they'll jump on it and hang on it upside down until the blood rushes to their head, then they fall off.
Oh, nice.
And, it's kind of hilarious. It's sad. So we said, all right, these poor squirrels, we'll get a squirrel feeder. So I wanted to get the one that was the horse head, so when the squirrel stands in it, it looks like a giant head, horse head.
I saw pictures of that on your Facebook page. That was pretty funny.
It is. I wanted to get one of those, but my wife's like, no, you're not getting that.
I think we now know what your Christmas present needs to be.
something Amy hates. Yeah, that's great. But no, we got one like Ace Hardware, whatever it was, and they finally figured out how to use it. But it's funny because you see how fat they are. They look like like 3 little squirrel kids inside of a squirrel costume standing in there trying to get the food out. And then like one would jump on the lid of it and smash the other one's head, and then they'll fight about it, and then they'll run back around. It's hilarious. So all right, anyway, so squirrels and football. Other matches this week. So the 1:00 games are the Jets and the Bills at 1:00, and strangely enough, the Bills are favored by 1. I don't get that.
Only 1? They should probably be favored by more than that.
Yeah, I know, and it's in Buffalo too. So
that is weird.
The Browns and Bengals will face off again at 1:00, and the Browns are favored by 3. Also, one to watch the Packers and the Lions. I mean, not really, because the Lions are not that great.
Well, again, it's another Cat Team Brotherhood. I looked it up. The Cat Team Brotherhood is 2-25 since the Black Cat ran onto the field.
Hey, I stifled a huge burp there too. So, also we have the Chargers and the Chiefs, and that's just going to be a slaughter. Bears and Vikings show that they have the 1:00 game. The Dolphins will be visiting the Patriots, and the Patriots are favored by 16. Yeah. NFC matchup here. Falcons and Buccaneers could arguably be bum fight material. I mean,
Well, it's
we
absolutely irrelevant. I mean,
yeah, we don't care at this point. Then we get into the 4:00 slate, the Steelers and Ravens, and Ravens are only favored by 1 here. And the thing is, the Steelers are fighting for a wild card spot. So that could be interesting.
wow. Oh, yeah. I mean, I do not want to see the Steelers in the playoffs.
Neither do I.
You hate them so much.
Well, they had such a. So here's the thing. They had such a terrible start. And then I ran into a guy probably about week 4, and he's like, yeah, I love my Steelers. They're still going to make the playoffs. I'm like, no, they're not. And right now I'm just looking at going, that dude, he was probably right. They were right there. They're going to make the playoffs. So I just because of that one dude who is a random Steelers guy that I saw at a store, just randomly talking and trash about his team. I just because of him, I want to see the Steelers miss the playoffs.
Everybody has their reasons.
But he would have been right. I'm like, this dummy is right. And I'm like, no, no, he cannot be right.
Speaking of missing the playoffs, the Redskins will take on the Cowboys, and the Cowboys are favored by 11.
Womp womp.
Well, the Skins played pretty well this week, and they took the Giants to overtime. Man, I don't want to see the Cowboys in the playoffs. I'm so glad they lost yesterday to the Eagles. So the Eagles are in the driver's seat there, but the Eagles they're so inconsistent. So if the Skins could just show up for this Week 17 matchup and knock out the Cowboys, that'd be great. So,
However, the Cowboys are still in the hunt.
They are. If they win, well, they got to win, and they need the Eagles to lose.
Yeah, they're going into the back door, but it's. I mean, if you're not outright winning it, you're kind of going in through the back side.
But if they win to get in,
you're counting on another win or lose.
I think backing into the playoffs is when you lose and you still get into the playoff. That's when you back in. If you win and then you make it in, because they have to win. They have to win. If they can win and then the Eagles can win and then they don't make the playoffs. But if they don't win at all, they're not getting in. Like the Eagles can just lose, and if the Cowboys lose, then the Eagles are in. So the Eagles are the ones that are going to back into the playoffs in that scenario.
So another one of the games, I almost said, it's a Texas battle because I forgot that the Titans are no longer the Oilers, but they're going to be taking on the Tennessee Titans will be taking on the Houston Texans.
Well, it's the old Oilers battle.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it is.
That's what this one is.
Yeah. The Colts and Jaguars will face off at 4:25 as well. Also, Eagles Giants. Eagles slightly favored in that one. Raiders and Broncos as well. And then wrapping up the 4:00 games, the Cardinals and Rams. And the Rams need to win. That doesn't matter. Never mind.
Yeah, they're out, right?
Yeah, and then this is the one that we need to watch. That's the 8:00 game. That is the 49ers Seahawks, because that's going to determine where the Saints fall.
It's going to determine everything for the NFC, all of the rankings, because the Seahawks could potentially move up to number 1 if the other teams lose, right? If the Saints lose and the 49ers, they beat the 49ers, yeah, then the Seahawks could be number 1.
In the division.
I think in the NFC, right?
I'm not sure about that. Because they will be. The Seahawks are sitting at 11-4 right now.
Did they lose to the Saints? That might be it. I don't know. I should know this.
We've gone down a rabbit hole that we haven't researched.
They did. The Seahawks did lose to the Saints.
Okay, so then the best they could do is number 2.
Yeah, but still, there's a lot hanging over that game. That's going to be a good watch.
It has a potential of shuffling the entire NFC playoff seeding.
Yeah, that's what's exciting about this, is that we're this far into the season and there's still so many question marks. Mm-hmm. It's all coming down to the last week, not for us, but for other teams.
I mean, it's good for the NFC, the NFL. Like the NFC is really, really good this year, and the AFC, they got the Ravens. I think the Ravens should cakewalk to the Super Bowl. I think
I kind of pull for the Ravens too. Living in DC for as long as I did, I was like, okay, if the Ravens doing
I'm
well,
for the Ravens to win the whole thing.
Yeah, we got together to watch the Ravens beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl that one year.
Yeah, Yeah, if the Panthers are in the crapper, I mean, why not pull for the AFC team? Or
I'm pulling for the Ravens to win.
Well, this year I'm pulling for Buffalo too, just because it's
yeah.
You got to have some skin in it.
I think the Ravens have a little bit of a better shot than Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo's good, but I think the Ravens have the best shot.
I don't see Ravens fans jumping into tables.
That's true, or showing up at 2 a.m. to welcome their team back home.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. But
and Josh Allen there. Yeah, he said he feels like one of the Beatles. So I'm like, he's flying high right now.
Well, it's the Bills have a chance. I mean, they're the 5th seed. Probably they're going to be playing the Houston Texans in the first round, so they might actually win a playoff game too. We beat the Texans.
By the way, January 4th and 5th, those are your playoff dates. That's when the wild card games kick off. So it's week 17, and bam, right into wild card the week after. So fun stuff. All right, guys, I think that's enough.
And now, of course, it's time for my final thought.
Well, I saw Star Wars. I'm not going to ruin it for anyone, but I enjoyed it. A lot of people hate it. I enjoyed it. So I'll just say that.
I've read and watched all the spoilers, so I know what happened. Effectively, I'm in a position where I've read the book, and I don't like what I read in the book, so I have very little expectations to like the movie. However, I have heard that it's a spectacular thing to watch. Like, if you can check your brain,
it's made really well.
Right. If you can check your brain at the door and you go in and watch it, you should be able to enjoy it. But I don't think I can forget about all the baggage that comes with being a Star Wars fan and knowing what happened previously in the franchise. And that's why I don't think I'm going to be able to enjoy this movie.
Here's the thing. We Baby Keith saw it in 1977 in the theater. And I was old enough to say, I want those droid action figures. And for Christmas that year, I got an empty cardboard box of the Cantina.
Did you make your own droid?
No, did you get the thing that Kenner sent where it's like here's a thing and we're going to send you the figures later?
Yes,
you got that. Oh, that was actually pretty cool.
I don't have it. I no longer have it now, or else I'd be able to buy a new Audi. But still, it's. I remember getting. I got a cardboard box, and my parents were like, "Yeah, you'll get it in like January or March or whatever it was." Right. I'm like, whatever. Okay, whatever. But then anyway, saw all the movies in the theater, and I guess now in my 40s. I have my own business, and we do the podcast, which takes up a considerable amount of time as well. But it was nice to just go there and sit there for 2.5 hours, turn off my cell phone, turn off everything, just sit back and enjoy the movie. Almost didn't get a chance to because of the idiot in front of me who had their phone out, and just a nice authoritative, put away your cell phone, please, fixed it.
Good for you.
Wait, was that in the previews and like the? Or like
it was when it was when a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away came on.
Okay. Well, there's a chance they could have been just turning on the cell phone to turn it off. Like
nope, they were people.
Well, like sometimes I've done that. Like at the beginning of the movie, I need to turn off the ringer, and I'll do that and then shut it off real quick.
You can see the chat balloons.
Oh, okay. Well,
so I'll say I did go see it at the new theater I mentioned. It's actually an Archlight theater, which is what they have in LA that a lot of the premieres are done at. I know they have one in New York. I think they said Chicago, and then Boston. They just opened theirs like 4 weeks ago, but hadn't really advertised. If you ever get a chance to go to an Archlight theater, I would highly recommend it. It was fantastic. Yeah. So, I mean, they're very few and far between. There may be one in Atlanta. But it's like the ones that if a premiere's not done at a specialized theater, they're done at the Archlight in LA. Very impressed. Great theater company. Hopefully they do some stuff, but it's so specialized and they have so many pieces of art from movies that it's the theater itself is an experience. So really cool. I was really impressed with it.
Cool. All right. Enough about Star Wars. Ashlyn, what's your final thought?
Yeah. So with the holidays coming up, I just wanted to give a shout out to a couple of the Roaring Riot groups around. I may be missing some. I know about 2 of these. There could be other people that did them, but Cheer City Riot and Upstate Riot, both adopted families for the holidays. Watching the video of Shay and that group with the family and seeing what Cheer City Riot did with their Shay with Upstate worked also with Kelly Davis and the Defending Dreams Foundation. They actually picked the family for the Upstate Riot to pick and we're a part of that. And I'll just say it's so nice to see that the Panthers fans can come together as a community to watch games together. And I know we have the Riot Foundation now. We worked a lot with the Cam Newton Foundation, but it's so nice to see these individual groups. It's inspired me. Next year, we'll do something in the Beantown Riot. It's very, very inspirational. I know now the Upstate Riots adopted this family for the whole year. I heard a lot more about it because I spent time with them yesterday, but it is so nice to see chapters giving back to others in their community. And it just makes me so proud to be part of this group of such amazing people that not only are fans of the team that I care about and feel like family because of that, but there's so many amazing people that are part of the Roaring Riot. And I mean, like, I almost get like emotional talking about it. It's just so nice to see. And I'm just so proud to be part of this group.
I know. I am too. And I agree. We have something special here.
Yeah, it really is. And the fact that it's, they were able to get together and do that because of what was created overall. That's pretty awesome.
Yep. So even when the football team's going down, we're still able to do stuff for people and have those friendships. So it's really nice.
Yeah, that's really, really awesome that they're doing that. And I'm almost ashamed that we haven't thought to do that up here.
Well, and it takes somebody to initiate something, but once you do, now and we can spread that to more groups. And I think we'll see that next year. And again, it doesn't have to be the holidays. Like I said, the Upstate Riot are adopting this family for the whole year and doing what they can. They did give them some tickets to go to this Panthers Saint games. It was a family with 2 young boys. Mm-hmm. I think one was probably a teenage boy and then an older preteen kind of age is what it seemed like. But some members gave up tickets for this group to go see the Saints game. But any way you can help in the community, and I think it's awesome, but I'd love to see more chapters. I know I'm going to look into doing it up in Boston with our group. But I'd like to see more do that too. It's really awesome.
And that's what we mean by be the change.
Right. Exactly.
Jayme?
Well, I'm going to go on something that's much more superficial here.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go deep. I'm just so
you
proud.
Went really deep. I'm like, wow, man, now I'm going to look like a schmuck.
No, but we're just proud. We're proud of our group. Yay. Okay, I'll end it on something happy. Happy holidays, everybody. Now, Jayme.
Well, last
I would say great work, Shay, and everybody and the Upstate Riot. You guys are awesome.
And Cheer City Riot. They did one too.
Yeah, Dylan worked there.
Well, last week I asked you guys which movie you thought was better, T2 or Jurassic Park. So I threw a poll out into the social media sphere, and we got results back. 55 people answered, and the results were 38% said T2 and 62% said Jurassic Park. But
yay!
But the interesting thing here was Facebook overwhelmingly supported Terminator 2, and Jurassic Park overwhelmingly supported. Twitter overwhelmingly supported Jurassic Park.
So this is okay. I'm confused. So Twitter was favoring Jurassic Park, but Facebook favored Terminator 2.
Yeah, but there was a lot more responses on Twitter.
Oh, interesting.
So they skewed the results in their favor.
Okay. So do we have anything to debate about this time?
On that subject, no. I mean, we talked about it last week. I'm still in the Terminator 2 field. I think it edges out Jurassic Park. But
not Terminator 3 and Jurassic Park 2?
Which one?
Terminator 3 and Jurassic Park 2? Come on.
Close Jurassic Park.
Let's like...
Terminator 3 should never have been made.
We're keeping with the theme here.
Well, if you want to do that, let's do the new Terminator versus not the newest Jurassic Park, but the new Jurassic Park.
Oh, Jurassic World?
Versus what, though?
The new Terminator.
Oh, that's still not even close. Like, the new Jurassic World is amazing.
Yes.
No, there shouldn't be any more Terminator movies after Terminator 2. That should have been the last one.
Agreed.
Everything past T2 is terrible.
Yeah, it is.
Jurassic Park has some good stuff after the original. So
I don't care if you do have Batman playing John Connor.
Yeah, I don't know what's a really good. The thing that brought me to that poll was because these are 2 really good movies, and you're putting 2 juggernauts up head to head, and I can't think of anything like that recently that would be interesting right now.
Hey, I'll tell you something that was on recently that was just knocked it out of the park. Eddie Murphy on Saturday Night Live.
Oh,
Yes.
I haven't seen that. I know a lot of people were watching it though.
You got to see it because this is one of the rare instances where Saturday Night Live just slayed it the entire episode, the entire hour and a half. It was great.
Really?
There were a few vulgarities that were dropped that didn't get bleeped because, of course, it is live, but more than a few actually. But it was great. Eddie Murphy did a wonderful job. He brought back some classic characters, and it was really funny. Watch it before the holidays if you get a chance to. And Lizzo did a great performance. She was really, really good. So I just got to say that they just put together an all around great show. And if you haven't seen it, find a way to watch it.
Well, remember, like Eddie Murphy was hilarious in the '80s, and then he toned his comedy back because he had kids, and he was like, I don't want my kids seeing me doing all these bad things.
Yeah, it became Nutty Professor, Dr. Dolittle.
Yeah, and then we like stopped liking Eddie Murphy because he's like, oh, he's not edgy anymore, and he just kind of sucks. But now his kids are adults, so does that mean he can go back to doing the edgy comedy he did back before he had kids?
Go ahead and watch the episode, and you'll see. But he also did announce that he is filming, or just wrapped up filming, of Coming to America 2.
Yes.
Oh, that will make a lot of people happy.
This is beautiful. What is it, Velvet? Sorry, I had to. I learned about Coming to America too from my 10th grade chemistry teacher. Coming to America, the original, from my 10th grade chemistry teacher.
I was going to say, what did he know way back then?
Oh, many things.
Well, that's interesting. And that movie was really good. So, man, I'll keep an eye out for that one. Also, I have one other thing. I'm going to be premiering my Tecmo Bowl series week 17 this week on Wednesday at 8 p.m., which is Christmas. I won't be live streaming though, because I live streamed it last night and recorded it, and I've cut it, and the cut version, which will only be about 25 minutes, will be up on Wednesday. Now, the reason you might actually want to watch this is because going into this game, I am 8-7. And this is a play and win and you're in scenario. If I go 9-7, I'm in the playoffs. And I think so everything's on the line. I'm playing the Saints, and you should watch this because there's a lot of tension there. And I think it makes for good a good viewing experience. And it'll be on Christmas, so you can get Panthers football on Christmas.
Will you be continuing this afterward until the are done?
If I make the playoffs, yes, I will be continuing this.
If you don't make the playoffs, are you going to do Tecmo Bowl matchup between two teams that are in the playoffs?
No, because I can't. No, I wasn't going to keep doing it after that.
That's curious.
So my plan is, if I make the playoffs, I will do one live stream where I will sit down and play all the playoff games until the Panthers are eliminated. So if I win the Super Bowl, I'll have to play 4 games back to back to back. And then if I win the Super Bowl, I'll cut those into separate episodes. But that's going to be a pretty challenging thing to do with the team as they are in this video game.
If you win the Super Bowl, are you buying yourself a ring?
No, that's just silly. That's just silly. But so there will be episodes coming that I'll release through the playoffs if I keep going. But there will at least be one if I make the playoffs. Now, I already know what happened in the game last night, but I just don't want to spoil it for everybody.
Don't do that. Any final thoughts before we check out, guys?
Merry Christmas, happy holidays to everyone.
Those were our final thoughts. Yes, Merry Christmas to everybody.
Yeah.
Happy Festivus.
So next week is our final podcast of the 2019 season. Again, we would love to hear from you. So please share your thoughts via Facebook or email or on the talkback line at 704-228-0890. Let us know your favorite memory from the 2019 season and what you expect from this team in 2020. Follow us on Instagram at Roaring Riot Podcast, on Twitter at R Riot Podcast. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Roaring Riot Podcast, or visit our website. It is at roaringriotpodcast.com. Please do listen to Not What You Think, Carolina Line. It is what it is, and one-day contract, part of the Riot Network, powered by Ortho Carolina. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and we hope to hear from you next week. See ya.
See you all Sunday.
Keep pounding, everybody.
1 hour and 14 minutes of straight
Wow.
goodness.
That's a
All
lot.
right,
yeah.
I got to run because we're doing family photos in a little bit. I've got to go to the store before then.
And you're gonna
Okay.
My dad's dressing as Santa Claus.
You're gonna add outro to that.
I was going to add the waitresses to the
Oh
outro.
yeah, that's nice. I like that one.
Yeah. I do too. We don't hear that often enough. So I'll cut the promo. Jayme, you got the write up.
Yeah, I will. Man, this was a long one. We got a lot to talk about.
It was. We got good stuff. I got a lot of good stuff though. Ashlyn, I'll see you on Sunday. And,
Yay! I can't wait. Okay,
all right. See you guys.
I'm so excited. All right.
Before you leave, I got to do this.
Conference unlocked.
Conference unlocked.
If you're still watching the stream, Ashlyn does a great impression of the conference lady. And
I do some voiceover work from the elevator lady too.
Yeah, she does a good elevator lady impression too.
I'm serious. You need to get on there one night when people are just drunk and do the fourth floor.
6th floor in a 3-floor hotel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do that.
29th floor. Going up.
Express elevator to 40th floor.
Like a Holiday Inn Express with 3 floors. Oh god.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. See you now.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Panthers News Blitz. Made with bits of real panther, so you know it's good.
This is the Roaring Riot Podcast.
Now, of course, it's time for my final thought.